Life Audio.
Those that use AI are not only freeing up time, but they're freeing up mental energy. And then as women, we focus on more of what matters.
Christian parents, what college will prepare your student to compete with the best while encouraging them to love their country and grow in their walk with Christ? Patrick Henry College. Located in Northern Virginia, Patrick Henry College is the place for high-achieving, conservative Christian students. Already a top pre-law college, PHC has another one-of-a-kind program, Economics and Business Analytics. EBA takes your business-minded STEM student and produces a graduate capable of servant leadership at the highest levels. Find out more at phc.edu/EBA.
Hello and welcome to the Encourager Podcast, where we have encouraging conversations to help you joyfully harmonize your home and work life. I'm your host, Rebecca Scott. I'm a wife, mother, designer, coach, and author. I'm here to help encourage and empower you to confidently make decisions that work for you and your stage of life, whatever that might be. Hello, encouragers. On this week's podcast, I have a fun subject matter that sometimes feels a little bit fuzzy, but I invited the best guests to make it feel less fuzzy and to make it feel more concrete and something that you can attack. So in this day and age, we are all talking about AI. And for some of us, we have like a little bit of grasp of it. And for some of us, we're like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't use it without it. Here's the thing. I'm going to lay the foundation for our guest here. It's Ellie Saxer, our frequent guest. Welcome. In our friend group, we joke that she's the Chandler. Nobody actually knows what she does, but it's a bigwig job and we love and adore it. But she really is an AI expert. But the way that she approaches it, and anytime she's explained it, even in just friend conversations or out and about, or when I've heard her keynotes, I'm like, this is the most approachable view of it ever. So I'm really excited to have you on today because it removes some of the fuzziness of it and just makes it more concrete and practical, which is why you guys keep listening, is because it's practical stuff, right? We just want to learn what we don't know, but stay up with it. And here was my challenge this last year. When I heard this definition of AI, I was like, whoa, we better pay attention. It said, if you are avoiding AI, it's as if you were in the 90s and you were avoiding the internet.
The internet.
I was like, like, okay, we have to embrace it, okay? And on a faith perspective, we're not going to get into that because I don't know how to define any of that, but I know how much it has helped me in the last year with just some tasks for both work and home life. And so Ellie and I are going to dive into those kind of details. So without further ado, thank you, Ellie, for coming on the podcast today.
Always a pleasure. I'm so excited to be here. And AI excites me. I am a dork. So anything technology is like, what?
Let's do it. So I try to embrace it. I mean, I'm a little bit more prickly about it, but I'm like, come on, I've got to get there. So let's start really simple. What exactly is AI?
Well, artificial intelligence, which I think is why we call it AI, because that's a kind of a scary term, or it's a sci-fi term that we used to see in all the movies. And it's really any computer type system. So it could be an object, but it has a computer intellect that's supposed to mimic human intelligence. But I really want to focus on that it mimics just the human knowledge. It can't mimic emotion. It can't do critical thinking, right? So that when we fear like, oh, it's going to take over the world, well, it's humans that power this. And it's all of our knowledge that's going into it, but it's who God created each of us to be and what we have innately that AI will never be. But it is a phenomenal tool. Yeah. I laughed about if we were scared of the internet in the 90s. There's actually, when I first started looking at AI and working with AI, there's kind of that spectrum. And there's people that they will never use it. They don't want to touch it. And then those that it's part of their everyday life, both personal and professional. And what I tell them is, those that are fearful or those that are a little bit more skeptical, is when the internet first came out, the headlines were, here goes all knowledge that we ever possessed. We're going to be scammed and terrorists are going to take over. Our kids were going to be stupid. So there's all these things about the internet, which are actually some of the same things that are being said now that AI is here. And what's interesting about AI is, because we've gotten so much more adept with technology, we can catch and see the fakes or the scams faster. They can put up security much quicker, and they can take things down that are false. Where the internet, something false could have gone up or still does, and it could be weeks till somebody notices it or sees it. It's just the AI tools are so much better. And like for schools, being on the school board, if we're worried about our kids plagiarizing, well, that's always been a fear. We just never had the tools at our fingertips. Now teachers have AI tools that they can work through to see what percentage of this was not done by the student? And again, as many fears as we have, there's probably just as many, if not more, tools to really alleviate a lot of those fears.
Okay, awesome. And tell us for you personally, as we work into how it's going to help our work life, because we talk about home and work life all the time, you do work in AI as your full-time job.
Yes.
So tell us what your job is and how you utilize it.
So this is the explanation of what Chandler Bing does.
Everyone stay tuned. My besties out there, listen.
The company I work for is got a mission statement to be a leader in AI. But that's not what they produce. They were in biotech, but we want AI to lead. And so AI is incorporated into our science, not only the research, but also the production of personalized medications. But then we also look at how do we incorporate AI into every kind of job that everyone does, from a researcher to a physician to those in the field that are doing sales and contracting. How can AI be utilized? So it's not just going into ChatGPT and using that to initiate innovation, but it can. We are building, and that's what I've gotten into lately, is building custom GPTs, custom bots that help different functions of what we do be more efficient, be more effective, and kind of catapult us just forward to lead innovation.
Wow. Got it. I did pick up biotech, and I do know it helps you with efficiencies, and I do love that word. But I will continue to learn more. Okay. So that being said, I wanted to qualify, you do this for a living, you guys, figuring out the newest in AI technologies and how to help us awesome humans with it. How can AI help small businesses for those that are listening in?
So quite honestly, for a lot of small business owners, they may have been using AI and not realize it, or a tool that they were using now has AI incorporated, which I think happens a lot of the times. So I think about, as a small business owner, the best first thing you can do is go in slowly. Like, you don't just want to AI everything, but what's an area or two areas that suck up the most of your time, are the most repetitive, maybe areas you don't even really enjoy doing. If they are repetitive and they are driven by what you put in the computer anyway, most likely AI is able to help, whether it's ChatGPT or a tool. I think about Grammarly. Grammarly's on TV. It's AI driven. You can easily build it in, and it is, I love Grammarly because it can sit within my email. It can sit within wherever I'm typing, and it fixes and it gives suggestions as I go. That's an AI tool, but it's making it more efficient rather than me going, is that right? Did I spell that right? I mean, how many times I've gone into my phone and be like, I don't know how to spell that anymore. This is doing it for you, right? It's a time saver, but Grammarly really can polish and help. And it learns your style. It learns what you've done, and it can repeat that with great efficiency.
I didn't know Grammarly could do that.
Yeah. And there's other tools similar, right? Nada is another one. Notion. There's quite a few of them. But then I also think like Canva. Canva is one of the largest platforms that is used by business owners, small, big, large, whatever it might be. Canva now is Canva AI. If you go to that tab and you type into Canva AI, you can give them your website. You can give, here's my website currently, here's my mission statements, and it will start to produce a better template and colors and scheme.
Whoa. Okay, and those aren't familiar. Canva is like graphic design.
Yep.
So it's got tons and I mean, my kids use it for birthday parties. We use it all the time, obviously in my design business. But I didn't know that you could give it your website so that it could plug in some like cute graphics and stuff. Whoa.
You got it.
Okay. And then you have Grammarly just set up on your Gmail, I imagine? Like,
yeah, it's a plugin. Yep,
okay.
It's just a plugin or an extension. And so you can add it to Gmail, Outlook. I have it on my phone, so I can even help with my text messages sounding better, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay.
I think the last tool I'll give you, and like Grammarly has a free version. Canva AI can be free. Obviously, there's pro tools. The other one that is free to use, and whether you want to use it, you can use Nada, you can use Otter. I just use like the platform we're on currently. Say it's a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
It will be, you can click record. So if it's just between you and I, or we're brainstorming, I can record our conversation. When I'm done, I will take that transcript, throw it into ChatGPT and ask it, What are the deliverables? What were things that I need to do? What are things that Rebecca needs to do?
Yes.
That's a free tool, but rather than sitting in a meeting and taking furious notes or leave and go, I can't remember. I remember what we talked about at the end, but I don't remember what we talked about at the beginning. It will bring everything together in a pretty much a task list.
It's so good. Okay, so here's what you can take away from that too, you guys. I'm a paper and pencil gal. This is the joke amongst us. I'm the paper and pencil gal, but I still do this. I take that transcript, I print it off, again, because I'm a paper person, highlight the things that it told me that I'm supposed to take away from this meeting, and then do it. So it eliminates so much time, but it accelerates so much purpose behind it. So if you feel like you're cheating, it's so opposite of that. It is such a fantastic tool to really dive into. And plus, I would say this too. I love the word, you zoom out. You zoom out and you look at these notes and you're like, this is high level stuff we were talking about. And in the moment, you may not think that, but when you can look at it objectively and on the paper and go like, okay, for example, it was a brainstorming session. You're like, there's some great ideas in here. Or I would like to take this idea and develop it a little bit more. It's just a fantastic tool for that. So I would have done the paper and pencil version of that where I printed it off and highlighted. Ellie would have taken it and plugged it into ChatGPT and said, give me the top 10 things I need to do in the next 5 days. Yeah. Yep. So it utilizes everybody's skill set. It's not replacing anyone. It's allowing everybody's different learning style and implementation style to accelerate, or maybe the accelerate word might intimidate you a little bit, but it just gives you your to-do list, which we all pretty much love. And so I love the idea of the note taking, which also is like having your own free VA.
Yeah, absolutely
yeah,
is.
absolutely.
And there are so many tasks that AI can do for you, which, I mean, there's still the human element of a VA if that's something you need, responding to your customers. But as you get really familiar with your AI tool, it will learn how to respond to your customers. A lot of times we're talking to an AI bot, we don't even know it until they go,
for sure.
Wait, I got to get you a representative.
Yeah, and they're like, I thought we were friends here. The other one that we didn't mention a ton of, but we do, this is usually the one people start with, is, I shouldn't say that. ChatGPT, though, is a major one that people use. Can you tell us a little bit about ChatGPT?
Yeah, absolutely. So ChatGPT, also free to start using. You can pay for extra features. But if you're just putting text in and want text out, use the free version. But log in, create an account, because, again, it's learning you. Yes. It's learning your style and what you want. The best way to get started with ChatGPT is just play around with it. There's all the different things you can go on. LinkedIn AI has what they call Coursera, and it has free courses on how to better utilize ChatGPT and building prompts and all that kind of stuff, because that is helpful. But there's no wrong way to do ChatGPT. The first simple thing I'll give you is give it a role. Be an executive assistant today or at this moment. Give me advice like you're my mom. If you start with a good, here's your role, is how it's going to respond to you. And then the better the prompt, if you're trying to build it for businesses, here's my target audience, give it your business website, because it will go and survey your business website before it feeds out, different things of that sort.
Yeah. And prompt is just a fancy way of what you're going to write in the paragraph form of ChatGPT.
Apologize. So exactly. And quite honestly, even though we think of like ChatGPT being like the first AI platform, really some of the first that we're most familiar with is probably sitting in a lot of your homes is an Alexa or a Google Assistant, right? So that's what she's powered by. I say she, but it. So that's an AI tool. And there's a lot of people that have been fearful of using those tools, but I think about how much I use it in my daily personal life, and I don't know that I could do without it anymore.
Yeah, it is time to start it. You don't have to be a tech expert to start this. You don't even have to have a medium-sized business. You can have a small-sized business as well. But I do encourage you to reference that phrase back. It's like saying no to the internet. You're going to start using it. You're most likely using it already. One of the tools that you mentioned, and then we'll move into home life things, is I do use Otter. I think I'm going to be bold and say I think I use it daily, because I have so many thoughts, and we spend a lot of time on the road traveling because of where we live, that I'll be like, I'll just record a memo, and then I can get the audio version, export the audio version, and export the text version. And it does the best with my heavy Midwest accent. And it still transcribes it pretty good.
You betcha.
So me and the county line, right? Like it just does a really good job. So I highly recommend Otter, especially for those of you that have these big ideas or even medium-sized ideas. There's no pressure here, right? But to record them on the fly is so beneficial, so that for me, it feels like it traps it and then it's got a little bit of legs on it. And so I highly recommend downloading Otter in particular to just capture those thoughts. A lot of them come to me when I'm running too. And so I'm like, I'm out of breath, but I can stop here for a minute and record this thought. So that has been a lot of my ideas have happened by being able to use that AI tool.
Another one that's similar is called Notion. And Notion's a great tool for using in personal and professional. So you can bridge those kind of together because it organizes your to-do list, your chores, family goals, your business goals. It kind of puts it all in one spot. What I tell people, especially if they're a business, go into ChatGPT, type in what you do, and ask what AI tools are available for it, because AI tools have been built specifically for different professions. What a realtor might use is much different than what a physician would use. But they're all built out there. And it's just a matter of finding which one will best suit your needs.
Oh, that's interesting. It could tell you, well, try these ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The role is I'm a small business owner who makes purses and accessories. What are some of the AI tools that would be beneficial for me and my team?
Yep. As I'm looking for a tool to project manage. I'm looking for a tool to help manage the people. Whatever it might be, it will spit those out.
Wow.
And I'm cheap, so I always look for the free versions.
Amen. Amen. But a lot of them too are very affordable, even to do the pro version. It's like $5.99 a month or something like that. So yes, definitely start with free versions first, of course. Okay. So for home life, it does seem high tech, but we have talked about some practical ways. This is when I heard a keynote from you with how to use it for home life. And I was like, wow, my food system just got easier. So tell me about for home life. What are some of your favorite tools?
So again, as a wife or a mom, or just you're living on your own, whatever it might be, there's probably things in the day that you're like, oh, I just don't want to do that. Or I just feel like we're in a ho-hum or a rut. And AI can really, really help get you out of that. For me, I am not much of a domestic princess. I am challenged in that area. So when it comes to meal planning, or even just what even to put on the grocery list, because my grocery list probably looks the same every week throughout the month. And that's boring. So going into ChatGPT saying, I am a family of 2. I'm looking for meals that are high protein. I can put in if it's gluten free, I can put in the age, I can put in what we like, what we don't like, allergies, all of that, and ask it, can you give me a meal plan for the next 5 days, the next 7 days, whatever it might be? I can also ask it then create a shopping list. I can also ask it, what are the recipes for what you just gave me? Maybe I don't cook. So can you give me a meal plan based on what to utilize, a microwave and an air fryer and a toaster? I mean, it can be very specific, but it brings it out, because we sometimes rely on, oh, I've made that 3 times, I'll eat it the 4th, whatever it might be. The groundbreaker for me is we're not great about our leftovers. And so I asked it to give me a meal plan where I wouldn't have a bunch of leftovers every night.
Oh, wow. So, man, the efficiency in that is crazy.
Yes. Yep. And now, so this is like the biggest difference between using ChatGPT and the internet. Can I go on the internet and find recipes? Absolutely. 1,000%. Can I go on and find a meal plan? But when you type something into, whether it's Chrome or Safari, whatever, you're going to get a lot of websites and you're not exactly sure what's in them until you click on them. But it's there. And ChatGPT is actually utilizing the internet. That's where it's pulling its information from. It's an open source, and that's where it's pulling it from. It's just cutting down the work of us figuring out what's here and what's that. But what AI also does is, you know what, if I looked on the internet for a recipe for a lemon coffee pineapple cake, that probably doesn't exist. But if I put that into ChatGPT and say, I would like to make, because it's my son's favorite foods and he's got a project, it will give me a recipe for a cake that involves those ingredients.
And it would taste terrible. However, it would tell you the ingredients. But it is, that's a very good analogy to the side by side. We can go to the internet, we can find the blogger that's most like us. But it may take 20 to 25 minutes to kind of find that niche. With ChatGPT, it's spitting it out. And then you can go and research after that too. Like, okay, you want to stay in the field of, it looks like the diet that you're trying to pursue is keto related. Here are the top 10 websites for keto. Like it just is such a helpful housewife tool.
So then, I mean, you can, and if there are specific, again, put in what you're specifically looking for. Because like Yumly is an actual AI tool or app for meal ideas and grocery tracking.
Okay.
So that exists. Cozy, COZI, is for syncing everybody's schedules. And that does that for you across different platforms.
Okay, I'm writing it down, guys.
Mealtime creates meal plans and shopping lists. So if you don't want to just do ChatGPT, there are specific tools, whether it's on your computer or your phone or wherever you want that. Google Calendar is now AI powered. So Google Calendar, if you have it set up appropriately, will say, hey, tap on your shoulder. You have a meeting in 15 minutes. If you put the address, this is how long it's going to take you to get there. And I've already put the map in your phone. So as soon as I enter my car and the screen pops up, I know where I'm going because I've already programmed all that to happen.
Time efficiency is just so key with it. And I think, like you said, important, not just ChatGPT. There are multiple platforms using this AI to best aid whatever it is in your home life, whether that is cleaning, food, self-care, all the cool apps that you can tune in to increase your habits and dial those in. That is all AI powered.
Yeah. Amazon. So like if I see constantly, you're always wearing very cute clothes, and we're the same season. And so if I do a screenshot of what you're wearing, I can upload that into Amazon and it'll search for me that object or similar. Mm-hmm. But that's AI powered. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The different things that we probably don't realize are available, or maybe we've been doing and it's not AI. So it just kind of helps form the thought of how do I do things easier, quicker, more efficient. Is AI 1,000% accurate? Nope. No, it's going to have errors.
Gosh. Yeah.
It's going to have errors.
Everyone, it has errors.
Yeah. You can check it. That's why some of these specific tools, like a Grammarly, is much more efficient in the editing, the grammar, the spelling, that kind of thing. Because sometimes I'll have something pop up from ChatGPT and I'm like, that's not spelled right. But you know what? Also, what I inputted was spelled incorrectly. So the best thing is, can you edit this? And it will. But the daily task of a diet plan, a meal plan, things that are really groundbreaking to me that I have quite a few coworkers that use it is they might be in a little bit of a conflict or a spat with their spouse or even a teen child. Amen. I have it. So they say, you know what, I'm going to take a break. And they'll go to their ChatGPT and type in a little bit of what the situation is. And for me, I'll type in we're having a difficult time getting over this topic. How should I best respond? What should I read to help get my mind straight? What is my 15-year-old son probably thinking that I'm missing? And please keep in perspective that I want information and guidance for an evangelical Christian. And that's what pops back out is Bible verses. It helps kind of say, have you thought about asking this question? Put in perspective, here's the hormone stage they're in, and just, things to reflect on. But that has been very interesting to utilize. And it's always good to take a break when you're in conflict anyway. But that's something that can be very much used. The other is that we don't probably use it enough is the start of the new year. ChatGPT, can you create a devotional Bible study lesson for me based on, I really want to grow in the areas of patience, the area of mercy. And it will do that. It'll give you, and tell it, I'd like to read 3 to 5 chapters a night. And it'll also give you devotionals that go along with that.
Yeah. There are also a ton of cool apps from Bible study, like the Bible recap. Those are AI powered as well.
Yep. YouVersion is now AI powered.
Yes.
So, yep. So, we already have them at our disposal, but it's just one of those things of, I could have someone build that for me. I don't necessarily need to go out and buy Bible in a year or whatever it might be, because AI will pump that out for you.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one of the things that I took away when I started using some AI tools that I did not anticipate but have really enjoyed, is that it increased my creativity because it could brainstorm alongside me. So let's say, for example, I have a collection coming up, I'm going to name it, and I'm like, I could sit and walk around my studio for 10 minutes, listen to my Ella Fitzgerald and my little tiny cherry Coke and my candle burning, and then go, I'm stuck. So rather than being stuck, plug it into ChatGPT and say, tell me other colors, tell me the names of purple swatches from Benjamin Moore. Tell me the name of purple swatches from Sherwin-Williams. And it will crank those out, and I'll see if those inspire me or not. Now, I didn't use any of the examples, but it allowed me to get the next process of maybe it's not a purple color, maybe it's a street name, and the feeling is royalty, or the feeling is creativity, or the feeling is humorous. It just helps me so much with the creative process when I figured it would do the opposite. And so if we can allow ourselves to just be a little bit more open to the brainstorming that it can help do, that it actually created more creativity into me, which I did not know was possible, but it has helped a lot with that.
And I am so glad you said that, because it's really there to enlarge and engage us, right? There's still, I would say, the mindset of a lot that say, I'm not going to use AI because I feel like it's cheating. I feel like it's not my own work. I feel like I need to do it on our own, because that's what we do. We're self-reliant and we want to do those things. And that's fine. You don't have to use AI. But what you do need to be comfortable with is the idea that anybody you're competing against is, and they're going to get it done probably different, faster, more efficient. The analogy that is used a lot is when building a house, you have two houses that are going to be the exact same blueprint. They're built right next door to each other. Builder A is going to be very traditional. They're going to use hand tools. That's what they're going to build. Builder B is using all the newfangled power tools and everything that they have at their disposal. When the houses are finished, they probably look the same. That's very possible. They could look the same. But Builder B, with all the power tools, was able to complete the house 10 times faster than Builder A, and they've completed the block. Now, Builder A could be like, oh, but you didn't use your hands. We would all argue, yes, he did, or yes, she did.
Yeah.
But they use the tools at their disposal to be more effective and more efficient. And when you go inside the homes, it might have those aha moments, because that builder was like, you know what, I should make a cubby for the Roomba to fit underneath, because they're just able to clear. And it says those that use AI, there's been a study, those that are using AI are not only freeing up time, but they're freeing up mental energy.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And then as women, we focus on more of what matters: family, our faith, our personal growth, because we're not caught in that, gee, what should I have named that color?
Right. Yes, 1,000%. And the more you use it, the better it understands yourself. But I will say this too. I have never copy and pasted and used whatever it gave me. I always have to edit it. And so there is that human. So if that part of you is like, no, it would never happen. You guys, you will take it into your own account and make sure that it lines up with how you want to be perceived. And because, I mean, if you copy and pasted and then showed up to do a keynote and it was that, they would know it in New York Minute because it doesn't sound like you. And so
exactly,
using it frequently will help understand each other, if you will, even though I know it's a robot. It's a big game changer for creativity. That was my biggest takeaway. Okay, you guys, that is plenty of tools for you to take away from here. You know, I'm big on the 1% rule. If you just want to 1% and try one thing at a time, chances are you're already 1%ing it. You're using Siri or whatever that looks like. But just be open to the idea of it for efficiency, to be able to be less distracted and to be able to be more tuned into the things that matter and the systems in your life that you're like, this is what I want to improve this year. Loads of tools out there to help you get there.
Absolutely. They're more intuitive. They're more personalized the more that you use it. And it can really help you balance seamlessly both your worlds, personal, professional, whatever else you have going on, kids. And you can also make sure that it's Christ-centered. And so I think that's essential, because when I put in my prompt, I want it from this perspective, whatever it might be, and it will get to learn you. The only thing I would tell you is if your professional needs some security, check the security license on things, because everything we feed in is helping make the AI tool better. It's using it. It won't say, hey, Rebecca Scott said this. It won't do that because it can't give you any personal information. But if you don't want things out there, for instance, our biotech company, we have things that are IP we don't want out. So it's protected, in fact, that we can pull from, but we're not giving it back out.
Okay, encouragers, I can't wait for you guys to hop on our Instagram and our Facebook this week to tell us a little bit about what tools you are trying and how they are changing things for you. Thank you for being our frequent guest, Ellie, and entering us into the world of AI very practically. Until next time, encouragers, we got this because he's got us. Thanks so much for tuning in. If the Encourager podcast has helped or encouraged you in any way, please subscribe to the show and leave a 5-star review. And then help us spread the message of encouragement and hope by sharing the podcast with others. Ready to bring more organization and joy into your life? The Encourager Academy helps you harmonize your home and work life through our online course and coaching programs. Our 5-system approach, me, food, family, work, and home, tackles your biggest obstacles, offering lifetime access to video lessons and guided worksheets. Learn at your own pace with practical tools and strategies. Enroll now at encourageracademy.com and use code WeGotThis for $50 off. Are you ready to finally create systems that help you thrive in both home and work life? Join my 10-week coaching cohort designed for busy women like you. Together, we'll create customized, foolproof systems for managing your home, business, and personal life with joy and purpose. With live coaching, practical tools, and a supportive community, you'll leave feeling organized, confident, and in control. Don't wait. Spots are limited to 10 women. Visit encouragerpodcast.com to apply.
Looking for inspiration and uplifting stories of faith? Welcome to the Jesus Calling Stories of Faith podcast, now available on Life Audio. Join us each week for heartfelt conversations and personal stories from people from all walks of life that will inspire you and lift your spirit. Whether you're seeking comfort, motivation, or just a moment of peace, the Jesus Calling Stories of Faith podcast offers a beautiful reminder of faith and hope. Listen to the Jesus Calling Stories of Faith podcast on lifeaudio.com or wherever you find your podcasts.